This is to replace the water hose on an LG upright fridge freezer RG P197NIS. It is not to be taken lightly. It's a long task. You need to get some hose, which is going to be 1/4 inch, 4 meters of it, which is 6.25 millimeters of diameter, and 2 reducing connectors from Qualtex, some Bunnings fire gap filling compound, and some acetone for cleanup. It'll take approximately 7 hours to do the job. This shows you some Bunnings foam fill, Power Effects that I used, and some Goof Off, which is the acetone for cleaning up your hands. In the foreground is a little spring that's at the bottom of the fridge, which I didn't find any further use for. To keep the insulation in the freezer still working, I scrunched up a whole lot of newspapers, and I got some big black sheet plastic that you can see at the background that I covered the fridge in to keep the coolness of the fridge so nothing defrosted while I was doing the job. This is me stuffing the newspaper in the freezer compartment, and I had packing tape to hold the newspaper in. This is the fridge all closed up with the black plastic to keep the freezer cold. This is with the door removed as per the manual. No power was on the fridge while this process was undertaken, for safety reasons as well. And this is looking at the fridge door from the top. This is looking at the fridge door from the bottom before I started work. I lay the door on a couple of trestles, and you can see that I've cut away the plastic around the bottom of the water filter container, and I'll show you a close-up of that where the water hose goes into the mechanism there, the 5/16 water hose. This is the 5/16 water hose going to the connector, which is at the bottom of the freezer compartment. There is a pipe that the hose goes up inside the edge of the door, about 35 centimeters, and so I had to cut a slot about from the 35 centimeter mark to about 50 centimeters, a 15 centimeter slot, about an inch to inch and a half wide, so I could get all the foam out, because the existing hose is taped inside the front door and you can't get it out without breaking this tape. This is a close-up of the existing hose that's in there, and you can't see it, but it's actually taped to the door, and that's why you can't remove it. You can't just pull it out. But I replaced it with 1/4 inch hose so it would fit inside the existing pipe. Once you've got the pipe out, it's pretty straightforward to feed the 1/4 inch pipe, or 6.25 millimeter pipe, back up the existing holes, and then fit the reducer that you previously purchased from the 5/16 to the 1/4 inch hose. Then it's a matter of putting the fire retardant foam back into the hole. That stuff does expand enormously, like it says on the bottle, so be very frugal because it does expand enormously. And I just put packing tape to hold the the lining in place while it's set, and then once that was all done, it comes off the plastic very easily. Just you don't need any acetone, but the acetone is handy because you get all that stuff all over your hands, and it's better to use a paper towel to clean up that foam as it expands inside the fridge, because that goes for about it keeps on expanding for about another half hour, and then it's a matter of just putting the fridge back together and putting the door seal back on the fridge as well, and putting the fridge back in place, and then turning the power on. Good luck.